morning. Sometimes you just gotta remember to look at the leaves. I forget. Get busy with harvest, and next thing I know, all the leaves are gone. So this morning the plan is, at the moment, I'm going to help Jeff get started dumping some trucks, get him doing that. Me and Dad are going to put some bolt bins overhead at the shop. We had 4 100ths of rain, but it's been cold and dreary. It just has not dried out really any at all. We don't have much moisture, but what we do is right on top of the ground. I'm going to plant wheat probably as soon as the sun comes out. Really like to make a big dent in that today. And Dad, BJ, and Jeff are going to show corn, I believe, is the plan. We were hoping to do beans today, but it ain't really looking good. Don't really look like a bean day. Got some soil tests going down.
Barn? The old barn, yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Side.
So there's a beater back here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it got a grate under it?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so
no adjustment or nothing to that?
there is, but it's basically done pre-delivery. And then this one's got a cover in it. So usually in the North American market for corn and beans, they put the cover in.
There's less trash.
Yeah, it helps.
So you don't need more separation then?
Not usually.
Okay.
You can take it out and heavier,
Okay.
higher yielding, heavier crops.
Okay. Okay.
But we usually leave it in. And then on the narrow machines, it's got a handle. So you can open and close it.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you want. Yep.
So what do you change to go to beans then?
Really, would put the chopper on high.
So that's just moving the belt from one
flip
side of the
belt
foot
over.
blade there.
There's an over center deal with that little, with this tool right here.
Oh, okay.
Same thing as the cloth, then pretty similar.
Yeah, so that's a 19 mil
Okay.
wrench. You flip a belt tensioner over, move the belt, put your counter knife in,
Yeah.
and then tell the display you're in soybeans.
Where do you change your rotor?
Oh, that's on this side.
You have to do that too, right?
Sometimes. So like with beans where they're at now, frosted and dusty and dead, we left it in low. When we were,
So what
If you
is
can
the
run it
low-
in low, it's probably gentler on them, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
So what is the low range and high range?
Yeah, so low tops out at like 600 or so, and then high tops out about 1200.
So what's the low end?
Low. Yeah, it's 300. Yeah, 300, 600. So it's this handle right here on top of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what the ladder or steps
Yep,
are there.
that's what the steps were there. So, yeah, so you could flip it into low for corn, soybeans, and then if you go to wheat, take it into high, and then in the middle is neutral.
So how fast can you change it over?
As far as like doing those three things, probably 10 minutes. We did it the other day when I was waiting to taxi up when we left the one farm to come to wherever we went next. We switched from soybeans to corn, so I yanked the counter knife and did the belt, and then changed the display, and that was it.
So whenever you change headers, does it store all the header settings, or do you have to recalibrate every time?
Nope, so it'll store it. So it knows that it's a corn head, but it doesn't know that it's a 12 row until you tell it.
It's probably got to learn all of its weights the initial time, doesn't it?
Yeah, so then you calibrate.
So if you put a different head, you'd have to recalibrate.
Yep.
But
And
then
then
the same head.
Yep, and then if you come back to that same head, then everything stays.
Okay.
For some reason, his old cloths, the new ones don't do this, but the old ones, when you switched heads, you had to recalibrate every time. They did not
sure.
store
It
it.
takes two people outside.
Oh, right.
I've always said I never buy another if you do that.
Well, because the McDon, it bounces whenever you raise it up. So.
But sometimes you get it on a hill, but then somebody said don't hook it up. Just put it on there and don't hook the drives.
Oh,
and I've
sure.
done that once.
Right.
And I haven't had any luck at this. Hello.
So the New Holland is leaving. It is going back to the, I don't know if we're taking it back to the dealership or taking it to a next demo, but it is it's rolling out. I had to run back over here and get us a bolt, and I know there's a lot of bolts at. Need a 1/2 inch by 1 inch grade 8 bolt. Well, it's been real fun. See you later.
There you go.
God dang, that was handy. That was worth the price of admission. All right, we got our nuts and our bolts. So these old bins, they have these crossbars you got to put in here, and well, we lost a couple bolts. We always take them off so we can get in easier when we're cleaning them. Leave Jeff to his own devices here, and we'll go get the drill ready. By ready, I mean we're gonna go fill it, because it's ready. It is ready to plant. I've actually planted 40 acres of wheat. You guys don't know that because, well, that footage got erased with that corrupt SD card. But over the weekend, Dad and I worked on the drill and planted a little bit on Sunday. Pull this over here into a flat spot where we got some room, unfold, fill up, grab me a ham sandwich, and we'll hit the dusty trail. Even with all this precipitation we've had in the last couple of days, I guarantee you it's still a dusty trail. I got my seed tender stashed in the hoop barn. Probably I'll do something with this big pile of dirt. I don't really need it here. That might become fill dirt at my driveway. And they're getting ready to head down to the field, and we're heading to where we're planting. So BJ and Jeff, they're moving trucks. Dad's gonna move the combine, and they'll be started here directly. Going to finish the field that we got misted out of with the New Holland. Run the gleaner today, obviously. And then after that, I don't know where they're going. All right, just rolling out of the field here, heading to farm about 5 miles up the road. There's only 30 acres there. I have plenty of seed on board to plant that, and then we're going to move over to the farm with the old bin site. We're going up the road first. I want to knock that out. Plus, I basically have enough of this variety to do about 110 acres. I want to spread that out a little bit so I can see how it does, you know, over a 5 mile span versus all in, you know, one field. Crossing the railroad.
Well, I think it's recording, it looks like. Yep. We got the remote today, so hopefully we can forward the head. Oh, hit the remote. Find the right button. Well, that ain't it. Huh. Well, I thought we could fold it. Last year we held the remote. Okay, we're starting down, go down the road here. There where we was at last night with the that New Holland machine, the back of the gleaner. That New Holland was a nice combine. It's a class 8, which is a size bigger than this machine, so it run a little faster. Got to put out a little bit more an hour, for sure. Got to get things set up in here for changing machine and everything, so we got to change everything.
Yeah, we're running. I don't think that means that we're plugged. I think we've got some kind of communication error there, but we're not plugged. So that's good. I think we've got an issue. Showed the whole middle of the drill plugged up, but it's very strange that it all happened at once. Okay, I thought we were going to come out here and see a distribution hose off the drill. So we are having trouble not plugging. We are planting a heavy rate. We're planting 170 pounds per acre. I don't know if that's the case or why, but I've already cleaned out 5 rows that have plugged, and I got another one plugged. It was probably plugged to begin with, and I just didn't know it. I don't know what is causing this. I know I don't like it. It's quite annoying. It's not hard to unplug this thing. You just shake it, the wheat comes out, but it's time consuming. It's easy to figure out which one's plugged. You just walk down there, see which one's not moving any air. the one. No air's coming out of it. Shake it. Clears the weed out of the tube. So you get airflow again. Still not quite clear. If it plugs up again, we are not planting this rate. The agronomists can just deal with it. So we're going around the edge of this field. Now usually I would just use my lines that I've made to go around the field, not steer at all. Since we're not using RTK, I don't want to do that. We're using WAS. WAS is not nearly as accurate as RTK. It would probably work okay in some places, but in other places it might not. So we're just doing a smart path line. Basically, anywhere I drive, I am driving right now. Anywhere I steer, we will have an identical pattern the next trip around. So like this zigzag I'm doing right here, there'll be a little zigzag on the guidance line next path. The good news is I can straighten that out the next path, and we won't have it path after that. All right, another field down. So we are going to go back and fill up. I know that seems like we're filling up a lot. We're not empty, but we can hold what is in the drill, and I want to get that drill empty, and then we'll plant this empty. And depending on what time it is, we might quit for the night. We might go help Dad dump some trucks. I don't know what we're going to do. I'll probably do that. I'll probably plant 60 more acres or so. Park this thing, so I got to switch varieties and stuff. Do that in the morning and send Jeff home and go dump some trucks.
Well, we finished that field up. Go over here at the farm, River Farm, and go down there toward the second bottom. Not clear down, but just over from the bends, right beside where we was at there a couple days ago. We'll see what that corn's like. Get a few loads tonight, hopefully.
Dad just went by in the gleaner. He's heading down to this cornfield directly in front of us here. Jeff's over there dumping trucks. This corn's dry enough. There's no dryer at this grain bin site that's hooked up, but this corn's dry enough. We're putting it directly in a bin. We should have one bin that we won't fill with beans, so we're filling it with dry corn right now. Now this grain dump, it's slower than the other one, but we're gonna store corn there, so we might as well store dry corn there. That ain't supposed to sound like that. So we're going to stop up here, go over to the hoop barn, and analyze some things. So I came over and helped Dad and BJ move, and Dad's looking at that fan. Jeff will get a kick out of this, but when I got back, Dad was on that ladder, and Jeff looked like a little boy. He looks so tiny. Like I said, Jeff will get a kick out of this. Not real sure what's going on with this fan. I am folding up, and we'll take it up to the shop and going to disassemble it and see what we can find. So last year during wheat, every issue I've ever had with this drill has happened in wheat for some reason. I've planted at this point close to 4,000 acres of beans completely trouble-free, but wheat for whatever reason. Anyways, I'm going to take this thing up there, disassemble it, see what's going on. Last year that fan blew apart. I don't know if I can't remember what the cause was, but basically once one of the blades go off or fall off, you get out of balance, and then it just tore the rest of them up. But I don't know if something got reassembled wrong or misaligned or something came loose. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're going to go check out. Dad and brother and Jeff, they're going to work on this 60 acres down here. I doubt they do it all. This grain leg's extremely slow here. Basically, you can dump a truck about every 30 minutes. So I would say they'll probably run till they catch all the trucks. Hopefully get 25-30 acres done. That would be great. back to the shop we go. At least we got someplace warm to do this. That is nice. Last time we did this, me and a Paul Martin tech worked on this thing while the wind was howling and it was about 30 degrees and trying to rain. It was fantastic. Well, this is fun. But hey, at least we're getting our first shop project. First breakdown in the shop. Like I said, I'm not cold, and I like that. So, I can see where the ends of these blades have been rubbing. But I don't know why that hub assembly has slid this direction.
Okay, you're back shell corn. Moved this other field. Brian having problems with the drill. A fan that blew apart last year, or this summer I guess, whenever it was. Something's ain't come apart yet, but it's going to if we don't fix it. It's so like the blades moved over on the shaft or something, rubbing the housing. So he took it up to the shop so it could tear it apart tonight. This is a different variety of corn than I've been shelling. It shells hard, I'll say that. Not greatest, but 16.7 wet moisture. I don't know if it'll be wetter or drier on it. Looks like another variety here on over here. I don't know. Maybe it's all the same. Shoes are all the same on the what records I got. Like all the fodder wants to break off and come in the head. I recalibrate my yield monitor. I don't think it's pretty right, so I know that BJ made that field about 20 bushel better than what I was making it. Actual weight. I think it's going to be wetter now. We're up 17.4, so I'd say we're going to take this up to our place to dry it. Put the bin up there. Got bigger fans on our bins up ours than this down here, so we can run a lot of air through it. Got the header control working. Didn't have one of the in the header setting. One of the it wasn't turned on, I guess, in there. Got that working, Brian. Figured it out. So everything working. Got a sensor going off every once in a while. It was in the other field so far. It hadn't went off. This one, a low elevator speed for the tailings, the turn auger, but hadn't done it this field. A little bit more shelling harder, a little more vibration to it. Had to speed the rotor up a little bit.
Well, folks, we've reached the point where I need another set of hands, and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of taking things apart. But I think this is fixable. I just don't know why that fan slid. But Dad and BJ have got a little bit more harvesting they're going to do, so it's about 9 o'clock. I'm going to head home and edit a YouTube video, I guess. And tune in tomorrow and see if we get this thing up and going. Like I said, I think it's fixable. I don't think we need new parts yet. That's the main thing I was wanting to find out. That way I could get those coming as soon as possible. I just need to take this thing apart, I believe, and figure out a few things. I also need some tools that I don't have here, because we got a bolt broke off in that hub, so that's good. Yay!